James Cooper, the golf champion, returns home on Monday with his brother John after finishing a tournament in Scotland. James suddenly sees his wife Mary's body soaked in blood, and a few meters away, he sees a corpse whose face and brain are mashed up and he can't identify it. Investigators and forensic experts arrive at the scene. After initial investigations, they realize the second body, Robert Kelly, is Dr. Kelly, a family friend of the Coopers. The forensic team declares that a murder occurred on Sunday afternoon, with the killer first incapacitating them with a shocker, the blood-gunning Robert with a golf club, and finally stabbing Mary in the abdomen with a knife. The primary target seems to have been James' wife, Mary, and the killer returned the house intending to kill her, unaware that Robert was also there. The investigators start their inquiry and first speak with Mary's husband, James. James, intoxicated and enraged, insists they must have found a suspect to accuse him. The investigators demand proof of his whereabouts on Saturday. James claims he needed rest after his heavy defeat and went to his major. The police speak with the major, who confirms James' alibi. Dr. Jackson, Mary's psychologist consultant, reveals Mary's weekly visits due to her past mental disorders. The police decide to interview Dr. Jackson. The Cooper family, being one of the wealthiest families in town, provided significant donations to Dr. Jackson, who primarily used income to support deprived children in Africa. Investigators examine Mary's records at Dr. Jackson's office and find out that she had been in good health recently, showing no apparent issues. During the questioning, Dr. Jackson reveals that Robert, their personal doctor, had informed him that Mary was taking contraceptive pills, despite her husband James undergoing a vasectomy, making her unable to conceive. Mary had been involved with someone else. But who? It is suspected that when James' wife was away for the tournament in Scotland, Robert was with her. After extensive investigations among Robert's close friends, it is discovered that he was homosexual and couldn't have a relationship with Mary. The secret lover of Mary remains elusive, potentially being the murderer. There are various possibilities. James may have bribed the major to provide false testimony, or there could be other hypotheses. Forensic analysis reveals a hair strand found in the blood of Mary and Robert, belonging to James' brother John. John is arrested, remaining silent during several interviews until finally confessing that he and Mary were in love, and he didn't kill her. His brother made the alibi for him. The same day, James arrives with a lawyer to free his brother, vehemently arguing why his brother was detained, accusing investigators of framing him. He unleashes a torrent of anger, demanding his brother's immediate release, claiming they falsely accused him. When asked about his confession of being Mary's love and the mistreatment towards her, James, now knowing everything, storms into the room with great fury, barely separated from his brother. John cries out that he treated her badly because he knew about their affair. In response, James admits he knew about his brother's affair, as he used to sleep with her too. Another day passes. The investigators, always busy with work and unable to sleep peacefully, uses sleeping pills but realizes they are running out and they should be prescribed and consulted before usage. So, they decide to visit Dr. Jackson, who is somewhat familiar to them due to their acquaintance with Mary. After a bit of talk and consultations, the doc prescribes the pills. As the investigator is about to leave, Dr. Jackson asks if there is any new lead in the case. The investigator replies that apparently Mary had a diary and the snooping squad needs to search again because finding that diary is crucial. It could uncover a lot. When the investigator leaves, the doc quickly returns to check if the diary is among Mary's files. Suddenly, the investigator comes back because he forgot his phone and catches Dr. Jackson scattering Mary's files on the floor. The investigators suspect he's the killer. The doctor says, "I got really curious. Maybe the diary is here." The detective's eyes catch a small notebook among the files. And yes, it turns out to be Mary's diary. Detective picks it up and says, "This needs to be logged into evidence." As he is about to leave the room, suddenly Dr. Jackson reaches for the gun. The detective becomes certain that he is the perpetrator of the case, always lurking around the Mary's family, easily able to find a motive and then disposing of the evidence thereafter the murder. But what was the reason for killing them? And was always around the Cooper family, easily finding John's hair strand to frame him after the murder. But why did he kill them? He says Robert, the dog and their family friend, was his main target because he tried to persuade Mary to stop funding the African aid campaign and stop giving money to Dr. Jackson. His twisted logic was it's better to take the lives of two than to let thousands die in Africa. The question remains, why did he kill Mary? Because he didn't want to her suspect anything and divert suspicion. He eliminated her brother too. The cops, who were supposed to come for a chat, see him in this scene and arrest him. Case closed. If you're into crime stories and documentaries, subscribe to our channel because we'll be posting loads of videos every day. See you soon.